Planters Bank was founded in 1946 by farmers and business owners because they needed a community bank that knew them and understood their business. A lot has changed since then, but Merchants and Planners Bank is still employee-owned and operated, and we're still committed to knowing and understanding the needs of every customer we serve. Great rates, fast turnarounds, and experienced local bankers ready to work for you. That's why you should choose Merchants and Planners Bank. Stop in any of our 12 locations or contact us at mnpbank.com.
Welcome to Sports Unleashed on a Monday night in Newport, Arkansas. Ben Black right over here, David Black right here, and nobody in the middle.
No Hayden Schultz.
No Hayden Schultz tonight. He had prior obligations. He said he had a dinner he needed to go to just because it's his future wife, and I thought it would be a good idea, as he did too, that he go ahead and go to the dinner.
Your fiance asks you to do something,
you best do it, ain't you?
You'll be all right if you do it.
Yes, sir. But Josh Nation is with us, and he's doing all the producing and directing tonight. We appreciate him joining us once again on Sports Unleashed, and we're not going to have a big, long show tonight, but we're going to cover some things that we like to cover, and we're going to talk mostly about the Greyhounds, a little bit about the Hogs, but Ben, welcome to the program.
Hey, glad to be here, man. It's another Monday night. You know, I hadn't got to be here much here lately, but it's always good to be in the studio and get to visit before we get on about deer hunting and football and sports and everything. But I'm glad to be back, man. I'm ready to get to talk about some of these Razorbacks and some of these Greyhounds. And had a good weekend for our fan base.
It was a good week, and a good weekend for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes,
we'd be remiss to not mention the St. Louis Cardinals. But first thing we're going to do, we're going to talk about the Newport Greyhounds and their post-game show, and it's always brought to you by the Bank of England Mortgage Company in the Village Mall. If you're looking for a home loan and you need some advice on what you need to do, you can visit with Kenny Thaxton and Cheryl Smart Looper, the class of 90, your Greyhound lending team, to get some information on lowering interest rate, a current interest rate that you have on your home, or if you're looking for your first mortgage, give those folks a holler, and they'll certainly try to take care of you. But let's roll their little quick intro. Ben, Friday night's football game was about as close as you could possibly get, and it came down to a field goal, but there were lots of positives on both sides, and a beautiful night for the game of football playing at Melbourne.
It was a great, as far as the weather goes, and the atmosphere. It was a beautiful night. They had a big, it was their homecoming, so they had all kinds of festivities in the parking lot where we came in, and it just felt like a Friday night football atmosphere. But anyway, the game was kind of a weird game. We started out hot with a 67 or 70 yard pass. Kylan Kripe for the score, went up 7-0.
Then we got behind.
Yeah, and those guys came roaring back, which we had some crazy things happen. We get the ball to on the inside the 10, and you turn it over, or and it just seemed like every time something crazy could happen, it was happening. But that was for both teams. Melbourne, I thought, got had a lot of penalties called against them, made a lot of penalties, and I thought we kind of caught some breaks along the way. But anyway, they get up, I believe 20-7 at one point.
We had to come from behind. Yeah,
we come from behind. We score on a little quarterback sneak. I believe that'd be in the third quarter. Yeah, that was in the third quarter. And then hold those guys. They turned the ball over to us in the red zone. And we go down and make I guess it was a 70 or what, a 97-yard
We had a
drive.
97-yard drive after. I think we held them on fourth down. Did we not hold them?
That's what it was.
We held them on fourth down.
We
held them. They had fourth and goal from about the 4 or the 5, and we held them.
They took their quarterback out and ran number one, the young man who had played some split end running back, and they just went for a little sweep, and we just stuffed it.
You know, anytime you get in a situation where it's do or die, and they're going to win the ball game. You go in right there, and our defense made a play, and for time after time after time again, we've talked about this defense under Mark Hinsley on third down and fourth downs, where the Hounds just make plays, and we have for the last several years.
When it's fourth down in inches.
Yes,
we don't give them up. We don't give that inch. That we've had times like any defense where it's 4th and 15 and we got fooled on a fake punt, but that just happens. When it's fourth down in inches and the game's on the line, we stop them most of the time. It's amazing almost the success that we have had on third and fourth downs of just shutting it down, not giving an inch.
Well, looking back at the game, was there any doubt in your mind? I never had any doubt, but then I kept thinking, man, something good got to happen. How did you feel about it as we were going down the stretch?
It's not so much doubt, but like you said, you get to a point in a football game where you go, it is going to be very, very difficult for us to get it done. Things will have to go perfect. Okay, and when we got to that point in the football game, up until then, things had not gone perfect. Matter of fact, they had gone kind of opposite from perfect.
Right.
We've had a lot of blunders where you didn't really need to make blunders. But again, that's football. That's part of it. Great teams are going to find a way to win. And I thought our effort, was excellent. I thought our attitude was excellent. I thought it was a good win. We scheduled those guys for our homecoming, and I think it may have bothered them a little bit. Nobody really wants to be the homecoming game, get scheduled for homecoming, because somebody mentioned it to us, and I don't remember if it was a fan or who we were visiting with, but anyway. So they scheduled us for their homecoming and played us off their feet again. They had a bad taste in their mouth from last year because they played us pretty well and proved that they were a worthy opponent last year. So to go down there to their place and to squeak one out like that, man, I was glad to get it. And I think that we'll look back and say, man, that was a crucial point in our season to get us where we are today.
Well, I think it was so important when you hold them, and I think they were a little under 6 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go when we hold them out of the end zone. And then you got to say, well, you got the ball. We kept calling it I called it a 96-yard drive, and it's actually a 97-yard drive. We hold them at the 3-yard line. Now you got to have the perfect drive. You can't have any big holding penalties. You can't have any big block in the back penalties. You can't have a lot of offsides penalties.
You have to. It's imperative. You have a positive every play. You cannot have one play where you go back half yard. You have to move the football down the field. And by the turn of events, the football got marched down the field. There were some crazy things that happened. It was a 4th down and long. We could go for it, don't make it. They happened to face master quarterback.
Right. You got a break.
That's a break.
Got a break.
That's why I say this football, it was just a crazy football game when you look at all the things. Even going back to the first quarter, those guys score. It's 7-6.
Right.
They go kick an extra point. We block it.
Right.
Hayden and I both said, now that will come back to haunt you, because we've seen it haunt us. We've seen it happen in games where it's
boy, didn't it though?
Come back to haunt them. And then our kicking team and special teams to go 3 for 3 on extra points. That's something we haven't. We're usually good to miss one a lot of times, just for whatever reason. But to go 3 for 3 on that, man, was great. You got big Jeremy Jarrett, player of the game. It was just an awesome football game, and it was a crazy football game.
Yeah, he was the Unity Health Newport player of the game, and we'll get to see that here in the program here in a little bit, along with the Subway Coaches Show, and then that'll be followed by Robert Turner in the plays of the week, and I asked him about that, and you'll see it. I can't imagine the pressure. Go ahead.
Oh man. I just was going to say, before we get done with ground football, we would be remiss not to talk about Brendan Curry's interception.
Right.
2 last week. Mm-hmm. Huge spots in the ball game. 2 huge turnovers. And then, because they're going down the field, they got a chance. They're 1 point behind. It's 20-21. They've got the football with, 60 seconds, a little under a minute?
Yeah, 53 seconds, I think, to start. Oh, they got a chance.
Yeah. And Curry just goes up on the ball and just takes it away from the guy.
He made a play, didn't he?
Game over. I mean, it was great.
He made a play. And, in our Fathead Pete's big hit of the week, C.J. Young. And, we had 2 or 3 people that were in the house there that we gave it to C.J. And we appreciate Fathead Pizza for sponsoring that. But I still want to talk a little bit more about the game because I just think our kids just wouldn't.
It's resilience.
Resiliency. They just weren't going to lose. Somebody had asked me this weekend and said, "Oh boy, you squeaked by one." I said, "No, we won. We won 20. We won 21-20, and it's a victory. And it doesn't matter how you squeak by what. It's a victory."
It's a victory. That's exactly right. And talking about C.J. Young and our linebacker play and defensive back play has been really well on that defensive side of the ball. But it is a victory, and it doesn't matter how you get it because that's the game of football. If you can get a win, I don't care. If they go, well, that hadn't happened in a million years and it won't happen again. Well, it happened one time. I mean, there is a chance it happened, so we got to win. But I thought overall it was a good win. I mean, any win's a good win. People talk about, it wasn't a quality win or it was a quality win or this and that, and they want to gauge it.
A win is a win.
They want to gauge it like you're talking about, and it's a win, man.
Well, congratulations to the Hounds. And the Hounds have a Riverview team coming in here that's won like 3 games, or I think they're 3-1. And we play Riverview, and we finally get a home game. Here it is. I mean, the season's halfway over, and the Hounds get a home game this coming up weekend. And, of course, we'll be there to cover it on live stream and hope we'll have a huge audience. I'm sure we will. A huge audience this past week on live stream. And
appreciate all our people watching.
Oh, man, Ben.
Yeah, thank y'all for sharing and watching it. Y'all are what, makes it all worth it. We get to, bring it to people all over the world. It's pretty special. You hear from Old Greyhounds every week. We love hearing from y'all and see where y'all are watching from. So thank y'all.
Yeah, and I love to try to mention where everybody is watching from. And I know we miss some because we've got so much we have to do during the broadcast. But we do thank y'all so very much for being a part of what we do. Is because of what you do. And lots of Greyhound graduates for years, and people and former employees and former coaches and people that have been close to this program to keep up with us. And it's important for us to keep delivering the goods that we have been doing for some time. We'll talk about the Hogs here in just a little bit, but I want to mention Diaz Scrap Metal, their recycling center. Ben, at Diaz Scrap Metal, if you want to make a little pocket change, you want to make a little more than that, Diaz Scrap Metal is the place to go.
Yeah, it ain't pocket change nowadays.
No.
That stuff is
big
high,
money,
man.
isn't it?
Well, it is, man. It's just gone up. There's a demand for it somewhere. And the Walker family, they've been doing it a long, long time. And they're going to give you whatever the market will allow them to give you, they're giving you top dollar for it. I hauled some stuff off this week, and glad you got to visit with Jason for a minute. Got to go get his irrigation system finished up for the year. But Diaz Scrap Metal. If you got some junk you want to haul off, or you got something that's just sitting around you want to go through, they'd be glad to take it off your hands.
Yeah, they buy cars.
They buy cars.
They buy cars.
And cars is a lot of what I see going across the scales out there. You got an old junk car that's just been sitting there for years, and you just need some money. Right now is a good time to sell them, man. They're bringing top dollar. Scrap is up, so it's always good to sell high.
That's exactly right. Iron and copper, steel, stainless, electric motors, and a lot more. I mean, they buy aluminum.
Cans, you got some cans.
Everything has a price, doesn't it?
Yeah, any type of metal they will buy. They will give you money for metal. So.
Well, if you need more information, you can give them a call at 523-3858. It brings me to C&M Ag Depot. Our good friends located at 2900 Highway 367 north of Newport. And it's just one of those places, Ben, that it's a lot more than just a few things. They service.
Oh, man.
They have lots of things to choose from.
There's not much they don't have.
Right.
If I need a bolt or something, I can go in there. If I need a memory card for my deer camera, I can go in there. If I need a lock, I can go in there. Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, the Milwaukee stuff, man, it's amazing what that stuff can do, that technology, and their warranty. DeWalt too. I mean, DeWalt makes some good stuff.
Right.
And that, those power tools, you cannot go wrong, and they've got every kind of power tool that they keep them. They keep
Right,
them
sure, in stock.
And you need one, you go up there and you go get one. And if you have a problem with one, you take it to Jimmy or Tommy, and they're going to get you a new one. They're going to figure out something on it. They're going to take care of you. So I would encourage you, if you have not ever been in there or hadn't been in there in a while, go in there and check it out, man. They have all kinds of inventory. Like I said,
Carhartt clothing,
hunting clothes, just work gear,
lacrosse boots.
All types of plumbing fittings. They carry the I'm going blank.
Don't go blank on me
I
now.
know it, but I can't think of the name of the fittings. But anyway, plastic fittings, big 2-inch, 3-inch, big stuff. Irrigation fittings, all kinds of stuff. Man, you need some structural steel to build you something. Build you a barbecue grill. They've got it. You need some blades for your disc. They got it. You need some bearings for your.
They got it.
They got it.
C&M Ag Depot, they're located on Highway 367 North, right out here in Newport, and their phone number is 523-6766. And then Fletcher Land Surveying, Cha-Cha Kenny Fletcher Surveying, Arkansas, and Josh has got his Fletcher Land Surveying. Yes, Cha-Cha got to watch the ball game from the on the lake. He was on the golf course on the lake, and I hate that he had to struggle through that broadcast the other night watching the ball. He and Kim.
Miserable up there at that lake, I bet you.
I bet it was too. No mosquitoes, nice and cool, and
who would want to be there, huh?
Yeah, right on a golf course, right on the lake. But Cha-Cha was there. Fletcher Land Surveying was represented by watching us here on Cable 15 TV.
And seriously, if you've got an issue with some property, you're looking at buying some property, you've bought some property, you're leasing some property, and you need to know the boundaries of that. He's probably already got it. So just call him. And there's no telling how many times I've gone out there and said, Kenny, tell me about this. He said, just come by, we'll go through it and see what we got. And he'll come by and he'll spend the extra amount of time showing me and explaining to me and going into detail, provide me with documentation. And I always, try to pay him. Oh man, don't worry about that.
Right.
He'll take care of you. He's a good dude. He's a local guy, and he's a friend of ours.
He does take pay from time to time.
And he has to. Because what he does, he provides a service that
can save you thousands upon thousands of dollars.
And not everybody can do it.
Right.
So a lot of times those specialty things like that are worth getting an expert over, because if you put your fence down or you build it onto your house and you're 10 feet off, but you just remember that Grandpa told you where the property line was, doesn't matter. The law is the law, and if you're built over somebody else's property, regardless of what you've spent, you're in trouble.
They can make you tear it down.
They will.
At your own expense.
That's exactly right. So Cha-Cha provides a great service, and he's a great guy. So any surveying you need, get with Kenny Fletcher. They'll take care of him and Big Jeremy Long.
Who would have thought 2 years ago at this time during football season that we would be doing our sports show and we would be talking about the Arkansas Razorbacks, and we could be talking about, in one poll, number 8 in the country, and another poll, number 12 in the country. But who would have thought that Sam Pittman and his regime would have gotten us this far? And we may not win another game, but I know this: we're on top of the world right now at 4-0.
You just look back at the not the history of the program, but the recent history of what our program has done. It's amazing, especially if you have just a little bit of knowledge of how the recruiting process goes, how it takes time to get, to start winning. You can have the right things in place, but a lot of times it takes a few years, several years, to get things back going. But he's turned it around, and not just Sam Pittman, but Hunter Yurachek. Obviously, that man is doing what he's supposed to be doing, and making sure he's got the right coaching staff, making sure that his school is taken care of, and so we've got the right people in the right places. Apparently, I think that's obvious. The kids want to win; they want to play, and that's, as a football team, in my mind, one of the biggest reasons for success from a football coach or a program is that the people that are playing, your players, they'll go to work for you.
Right.
They'll work hard for you because they respect you and they believe in what you're telling them. It's hard to work hard for somebody that you don't trust or you don't believe or that you're just not buying in on. And so that speaks volumes about those guys. And Barry Odom, you and I talked about it Saturday after the game. We've essentially got a lot of guys that were told, you're not good enough here for us. We're going to go another route.
Right.
you're not a head coach, Sam Pittman. You're not, because Pittman was there.
Well, like he said, I wasn't the first choice, I wasn't the second choice, I wasn't the third choice, but I was the right choice.
And
that's the right choice.
That was no truer statement has been spoken. Barry Odom, what was he at Missouri?
At Missouri.
Yeah, and he got fired.
Got fired.
I mean, so not a squad full of rejects, but what I'm saying is, you get to looking around, there's some guys that have great knowledge and have been in great programs and had success in great programs. Just coaching and the nature of the beast nowadays, all ended up at Arkansas, at a town and in a state and in a program that was beginning to look like could never have success. It was just beginning to feel like that they're just not ever going to have success. They're not going to win again.
Yeah, on top of most of the other sports programs, from girls softball to baseball to volleyball to all the programs, and so important where, I don't know if you knew this or not, but Saturday on the sidelines was Coach Musselman and Coach Van Horn, the basketball coaches, head coaches at the University of Arkansas. And Coach Pittman had called them that week and said, guys, would y'all please come to the game? Would you come down here and be there for our institution and be there for our kids? Because Pittman goes to the basketball games and he goes to the baseball. Yeah. And those guys were happy to, and they all got a big hug after that. I just think that says a lot about
who we are.
Absolutely it does.
It's who we are, and you got people that want to be there, and that's who you want, regardless of records and accomplishments and accolades. That stuff's all fine and dandy, but you show me a guy that wants to be there, and you're going to see a guy who is successful.
You bet.
I mean, and I think, and even look at our basketball program now. I mean, which it hadn't been terrible either, but we're just doing pretty well right now as far as where we're going. Now, next week we're playing Georgia, who everybody that I've heard says it's the best team in the country. It's hard to beat the best team in the country. I don't care.
Going to Georgia.
I don't care if you're the second best team in the country.
That's right.
So you go, you give it what you got. You play the football game. If you can win. Is that likely? No, but go play and just line up, man.
Well, I will guarantee you, Sam Pittman is telling those kids today and tomorrow and all this week. He'll tell them the truth. He'll say it'll be a monumental task. But he wouldn't want to take any other team in there to try to win besides that team he's got.
Oh, man.
And, would it be a tremendous upset? Yes. Would it be maybe one of the greatest upsets of all time? Yes. Are these kids capable?
Yes.
Very much so.
You know why I know they're capable? Because they're going to line up Saturday and they're going to play a football game. And at the end of the game, there's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. So they have a chance.
I want to remind everybody that State Farm Insurance agent Andrew Roach ready to help you combine your home and auto and save in Newport, Jackson County. Give him a call at 495-2024. And at Farmers Tire Mart, where the rubber meets the road. You need tires, you need automobile service. We recommend Farmers Tire Mart. Great folks. The Bain family have been down there for many, many years. Give them a call if you get you a price on a set of tires at 523-6735, and it's service after the sale at Farmers Tire Mart, as always. El Puente Mexican Restaurant, the best Mexican food in the world. Fajitas, tacos, guacamole salad.
Enchiladas verdes.
Oh, it's all good.
Ranchero special.
It's pretty good, isn't it? Manuel Fuentes, who came here many years ago to make Newport, Arkansas his home. He could have gone anywhere in the country. As a matter of fact, he owns several restaurants throughout Arkansas and Missouri and a couple up in Springfield. But he came to Newport, Arkansas to start his business from Mexico. And at the time, many, many years ago, he was at the what was Hogan's Dairy Queen downtown by the old Chevrolet place, and I remember the first time I met Manuel, and we were both younger back then, but and just become a good supporter of Cable 15 TV, as we all are supporters of him and what he does at El Puente Restaurant. But we thank them for what they do. Delta Manufacturing Company, the Eves family, been doing it for 50 plus years. Trailers everywhere. Everywhere we go on a trip, we see a Delta trailer.
And it's just a thing now. You're like, oh, look, there's a Delta. Oh, look, there's a Delta. So, and everywhere we go, doesn't matter if it's a little podunk town in the middle of nowhere you can find a Delta trailer, or if you're in the biggest city in the state, there's Delta trailers there. I mean, everywhere.
Delta Trailer Manufacturing at the Newport Air Base for 50-plus years, taking care of folks in 2 different countries and 300 different dealerships throughout the United States and Canada to take care of you. And Temp Pro, if you need your heater air conditioning system worked on, we can give you their phone number. It's 501-827-3213. And I see a lot of times on Facebook somebody say, my air conditioner's out. Who can help me? And most of the time, people put, call Sam Lester, call John Lester. These are the guys that can do it. Been doing that. They both work full-time jobs. They have to do it after hours, but they're willing to do it after hours.
They'll get you taken care of. Doesn't matter. You know, I've had a lot of different services from a lot of different people down through the years, not just air conditioning, but in anything. And sometimes it's hard to, after you pay somebody to get them to come back to do anything or to look at anything, they'll come back. It doesn't matter what the situation is. They'll get it right. And like I said, they've got full-time jobs, both full-time jobs, and they're young, and they're getting started. So have they made mistakes? Yes, just like any business owner has. My air conditioner, we could not find. I got a brand new unit, could not find where it was leaking at, and we go through, and John and Sam came back and they'd come charge it, wouldn't charge me anything. Come charge it back up, wouldn't until we found it. And we kept thinking we were finding it, but it's just sometimes, those little things, you just don't know. But they've just always taken good care of me. They've told me the truth. I felt like on the front end, they were being very, very reasonable in their price. So if you've got some issues going on with your heater coming up or your air conditioning coming up, or, anything you want cleaned, anything you need done AC-wise, or heat-wise, those are the guys.
I do want to mention the St. Louis Cardinals. They've won a few ball games here recently. Got on a roll. I was visiting with Grant Black and Garrett Williams, who's a friend of his and a pitcher at Springfield 3 weeks ago. And we were talking about, Garrett had mentioned to me, he said, the Cardinals are, they're trying to get back in the wild card race. And I told Garrett, I said, look, it's virtually impossible and mathematically impossible to get back in it when you're chasing 3 different teams. You can't do it unless, because everybody's going to play about from 400 to 600 ball. It means out of every 10 games, they're going to win 4 to 6 games. Everybody's going to do that. So 6 is the high end, 4 is the low end. So you're going to win 6 out of 10. For you to catch 3 different teams, you got to get on a roll. You got to win you 8, 10, 12 in a row. And they've won 15, 16 in a row, 16 in a row, the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, they're playing incredible baseball.
It's unbelievable. It's just one of those, maybe it's looking to shape up maybe one of those historic teams, and it's obviously a historic run.
Right, yeah. They're just trying to get in a playoff just to either play the Los Angeles Dodgers or San Francisco in one game. Yeah. It's going to be a one game to see if you can really get in the playoffs. You got to have a play-in game to get to the playoffs. It's the second wild card team, but I'm glad they added that, and I like the extra team, and I'm not crazy about the one game. You get 2 wild card teams, you give them one game. And
that can happen with just one game.
Absolutely. But congratulations to the St. Louis Cardinals. And Grant Black finished strong with his year, even though he was on the injured list for the last 7 days. But he's home now and back. He's actually gone fishing with his buddy Sean Johnson up in Colorado. So
Big Sean.
And he and Sean, I saw on his Facebook post on that, Ben, and I'll show you. He and his dad had gone fishing somewhere in East Texas, and they had some bass that looked like 10, 12 feet. I mean, I don't even know how big a bass gets. Huge. Biggest bass that I've ever seen. Bucket heads. They were some bucket heads. But anyway, we're going to come up with the 2 chicks birthday report. It's coming right up next. Well, and a happy birthday to these folks. Today, birthdays, John Nance has a birthday, and happy birthday, Mr. John. Randy Williams and Tammy Clausen, both with birthdays today. And then tomorrow, Coach Stu Smith up for the Batesville Pioneers has a birthday. Stu, a good friend of ours. Jacob Cox also with a birthday tomorrow. Peyton White, whose folks originally from this area. Andy White with a birthday. Robert Kurtner, former Greyhound. Steve Knox with a birthday. Cecilia Bunch with a birthday tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, Tammy Gallant, John Harvey, Joey Taylor has a birthday. Tyler Johnson, number 44, former Newport Greyhound. Bryson Long with a birthday on Wednesday. Mark Ellis Sr., Colton Edwards, Randy Turner, and Holly Lancaster, all with birthdays on Wednesday. Thursday, Cindy Sides, Ashley Bateman, Claire Statler, and Megan Gons with birthdays. Lots of birthdays this week. And then on Friday, October the 1st, Brandon Gates, Mr. Gates, Coach Gates, assistant principal over at the high school. Dr. Joe Dupree has a birthday. Henry Boyce has a birthday. Gene Bennett, Donnell Swanson, Ricky Simpson, Frank Love, and Darlene Madden, all with birthdays on Friday. And then on October the 2nd, on Saturday, Beth Walker, Debbie Kosterman, Natalie Martin, and Jamie Kaysen with birthdays. And on Sunday, Lisa James Wilmans with birthdays, all brought to you by Two Chicks Florist and More in Newport, Arkansas. Ben Black?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go into, I want to do this. I want to do the customized vision care look back. And the look back is to the 2020 Robert Turner Plays of the Week last year at Riverview in Newport's Riverview game. So let's run that program right now.
Snap, handoff Ballantyne, and Ballantyne's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds, and they strike here first at Riverview.
Making it happen for them.
4:05 to play.
Second and 7. Marshall looks to throw. He's got Chris Reynolds open. And once again, what a snag by 1-6 and White for the Newport Greyhounds.
That's one word, and it's all caps.
Reed in at the tailback and Toss getting outside, and he's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds again.
At his first touch for the year, first TD.
Believe so. No, I think he might have got one in week 2, Ben. But
well, it's good to see him back on the offensive side of the ball. I love seeing that young man carry the football. Just a hard-nosed kid. Difference maker on this football team, no doubt about it.
No question. Good snap fake. Reynolds rolls out, and he's going to throw it to Antoine Hardaway for the 2-point conversion try, and it is good. Boy, that was drawn up to perfection. Riverview looks to bring pressure as Marshall floats it deep to Kendall. Gets behind the defender and goes up and makes the snag around the 27-yard line. First and 10 for the Hounds. Marshall looking to throw. He's got Kendall open. As Kendall is going to walk into the end zone, but we do have a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Trips to the top of your screen. Here's the snap. Get Ballantyne the ball. Getting outside now, makes that one cut, sticks his head down, and Ballantyne's going to try to drag his defender and cannot quite get to the end zone. Just short, and it'll be first and goal for the Hounds. Second and goal now from the 5. Fake and set up a little fake there for Eli Alcorn to walk in the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds. Offsides play, and Raiders don't fall forward, getting the signal from the sideline. Here's the snap, and they've got Kendall open. It's Kendall sticks his head down. Will have enough for a Greenway Equipment Company first down. Here's the snap. Marshall looks to throw. Got Chris Reynolds open. He sticks his head down and waits for the signal. Touchdown, Greyhounds. Here's the snap. Marshall loses it. Now getting outside is Marshall. Great block on the perimeter as he's going to walk in the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds. Senior leaders and one of the hardest positions at the offensive line is second and 10. Marshall looks to throw. He's going to throw deep to Eli Alcorn. Alcorn, a tip pass, and goes up and gets it inside the 15-yard line. What a catch. It's 2nd and goal from the inch line. They go Nunk, and he will dive in. Touchdown.
Well, there's nothing like victories in the customized Vision Carry look back, and that was Robert Turner Plays of the Weeks. We do that each and every week. We've got some more coming tonight. But Ben Black, was a great week for the Hounds, a great week for the Hogs, and a great week for the Cardinals, and we're looking forward to this Friday night, Newport and Riverview.
Yes, sir. Riverview comes to Newport, and we get a home game. It'll be the first time we're in the John Minor press box this year. For me, and I guess for you too.
Yes, absolutely.
Hayden and Josh went and did the scrimmage game against West Helena, but we're going to go Hounds. All I can do.
No, go Hounds, no doubt about that. And we thank Josh Nation for joining us. Hayden is on assignment, as we say. He's on assignment. But what we've got coming up next, 3 things. The Unity Health Player of the Game with Jeremy Jarrett, who kicked 3 extra points in a big pressure cooker that we didn't really get. We didn't talk about that earlier, but he kicked 3 big ones in the last one. No doubt there was a lot of pressure on him to do that. And then the Subway Coaches Report, and then immediately following that will be Robert Turner Plays the Week versus our opponent last week, Melbourne, and you'll get to see the big, almost all of the 97-yard drive. And until next time, we'll see you Friday night on Cable 15 Facebook Live. Okay, we're rolling down on the field. 72, Jeremy Jarrett. Tell me what was going through your mind on the last play there that you were going to use your right leg to see if you could get us a point?
Honestly, I don't even know. I wasn't even thinking on that play. I was kind of scared, to be honest. But after he did it, all I could think about was go. But then, I don't know.
Pretty exciting night tonight?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what it feels like to, come from behind and win a big ball game like this.
I don't know, it feels great, to be honest.
I got to ask you this. We get off on the right track against a real good Melbourne team. What was kind of the theme? Tell me about practice this week. How did it go? We got everybody back. I know Isaiah's out, but kind of go through what went on in practice this week.
In practice this week has actually been pretty good. Like, we've learned new stuff, make sure we had our routes right for any new coming and unexpected plays that we had. So it has been pretty good this week.
Now then, tell me along the way, when we're 96 yards away from a victory, what were you really thinking? What was in your mind when we're that far? When we make the big defensive stop, number one, how'd you feel? And number two, what were you thinking about us being that far away from a win?
Honestly, I felt like we can do it. Now, I know I might have like a doubt or two, but I knew we could do it.
That is awesome, my friend. Congratulations, the player of the game. And it's nice to come on the road and win in a tough environment, but a beautiful place to play. And we congratulate you on your big first victory in the conference.
Appreciate it.
That's the Unity Health Player of the Game. We'll have Coach Mark Hinsley show coming up here momentarily. Coach Mark Hinsley, a victorious Mark Hinsley, and on the road, a tough, I heard part of your speech there at the end, a tough place to play. These guys always play us tough. Man, we just weren't going to be denied tonight.
David, I've been talking, about consistency every week we talk. I've been talking about identity all week this week, and I've been trying to challenge these kids to show me an identity, whether, whatever it is. And, we can make every excuse in the world, but at the end of the day, it's about what is our identity. And the kids showed it there. You're down there. You go down 2 scores, I think, right after the half. And our kids showed fight. And I can't say enough, and I'm probably going to answer a question already that you might have already, but it's not – that's what I told the kids, and I think you heard me. It's not the Eli run that was amazing. It wasn't the pick from Brendan Curry that was amazing. It was Jeremy Jarrett, and that's why he was over here. To get that snap, to get that hold, to get that kick in that pressure situation, that's huge for our kids.
Well, I asked him about that, and he said he didn't feel a lot of pressure, but he felt a little pressure. And let me tell you what, I mean,
I felt a lot of pressure.
Yeah, everything leading up to that was just a remarkable game. But to put a pressure on that kid to say, look, it's less than a minute to play, and your kick right here, and we haven't been real good kicking extra points recently, but we kick a winner.
Yeah, I looked at him, and I was, Jeremy, just calm down right here, and it was calm. So, I think I was the one that was more excited. But for everything to happen the right way and him to get that kick, David, that was the play of the game in my mind. So, yeah, it was something.
Well, I got to ask you this, and then, we couldn't get any consistency going offensively in the first half. The defense has always been stellar. The big 4th down stop going back to it, and we had to drive it 96 yards, but we got a 4th down stop when we had to get a stop.
That's a bittersweet thing is when you get a stop like that, and you're thinking on one end, great job, great job, kid. And then you have to drive it 90-something yards. That is the part that, good job, but all right, now how are we going to get away from our own end zone? So, we did what we had to do when it counted. We still got it. We got to get much better. I think the kids know that, and we're going to do it next week.
I got to ask you this, Coach. On that drive when they got it down there and we stopped them, they made a 4th and 14 with a little quarterback draw. It was just a great design play, and it worked for them.
Well, that's the new thing this year is everybody's wanting to go empty on us. And when you go empty, there's only a handful of things that you can actually do. And, you have to give up something on defense, and you can't give up just you try to get guys on the outside, you make your middle weak. And if you got your guys in the middle, you make your outside weak. And if you got to run a quarterback, I've always said this, it's almost like they're playing with 12. I mean, you try to get everybody where they need to go, and you feel like you're solid, and then quarterback can run it like that anytime. So we've got that same option, obviously, but our kids made plays when they had to, and that makes it for a fun night.
It did, and what a way to win to get our first conference victory of the year. And I mean, it's so huge because these guys are conference contenders and one of the top conference contenders, and it's just a huge victory for the Hounds. Congratulations to you.
It is, and to be 21-20, and I think that was the line. I think they were picked by 1, and so our kids to show up. And I told them today I want to run the table, and that was my challenge to them, and it all started tonight. So there's one right there. We can hopefully run this thing.
For Subway and the Newport Walmart Supercenter, the Hounds are victorious tonight, 21-20 on the road at Melbourne. And as always, go Hounds. Village, Arkansas.
First Community Bank kickoff. Will Keedy kicks it deep. Fielded around the 25-yard line for the Bearcats. And it's going to be brought down. That's C.J. Young in on the tackle. Snap. Eli looks out wide, throws it to Crite. Crite's got a little room. Crite's going to have first down and more as he's crossed midfield. It's a foot race, and you ain't catching Colin Crite, and he's gone to the house. Touchdown, Greyhounds. Good snap. Kick from Jeremy Jarrett is up. Jeremy Jarrett is good, and glad to have Jeremy Jarrett back this week also.
Hounds have been in this position before, 3rd and short.
Empty backfield for the Bearcats, probably a quarterback run right here. Snap, and he calls his own number, and he is hit immediately by C.J. Young, and the ball is on the ground. I think the Greyhounds got the football. Tristan Griffin comes away with it. The Hounds get a big, big break right there.
4:15, clock moving here in the first.
Here comes Griffin in motion. Here's the snap, now going to throw it to him. That set up the play earlier as Griffin's going to have enough for a first down, and that's targeting by definition right there.
So they get a 4-yard touchdown run. They capitalize on the Hounds' miscue and going to try to tie it up here with 1:18 to play in the first.
Good snap, blocked kick right there, and looked like Abel and Antoine back there.
That could come back to bite you, Hayden Schultz.
It always does, Ben.
We talk about it every week.
Good job.
Under a minute to play here with 49 seconds.
Empty backfield, just a designed quarterback run. I love the play call right there. And Eli Alcorn breaks the tackle. Eli Alcorn across midfield, and he's got some room. Eli smartly runs out of bounds right there around the 30-yard line, and a good play right there for Eli. Snap, and they go 8.
Right side.
8 with a big stiff arm. Ooh, that's a grown man stiff arm.
What a running back he is.
You got to try to get it out of a hole here.
Snap, Eli rolling out to his right. Throws it to the sideline. Caden Johnson comes up with a catch, and they're going to say he was out of bounds.
With 4:33 remaining here in the second quarter.
Oh, they tried to run a little trickery. Doesn't pan out for them. Big third down here. Alcorn looks to throw. Throws over the middle of the field. That's Jadarius Reed, just goes up and gets the football. And finally brought down inside the 30. Jadarius Reed.
When it made a play, didn't he? Play a little bit more effective. Makes them think that.
Give us to Ballantyne. Ballantyne cuts it up. Ballantyne still on his feet. Ballantyne finally brought down inside the 10-yard line. First and 10. Here comes Crichton motion. Give it to him on a jet sweep. What a block right there by Ballantyne. As Crichton's going to break a few tackles and get up across midfield, but we do have some laundry on the field.
It's in the area of holding, I would say.
Here's the snap, and they go Ballantyne, cutting it up. Ballantyne comes through there, and he's up across midfield to around the 47-yard line, and that's another Greenway Equipment Company first down.
And it's a chunk play when you can get plus 10.
10 minutes to go here. Clock continues to move in the third quarter.
Snap, going to throw it out wide to Griffin. Griffin cuts it up. Griffin makes a few guys miss. Griffin still on his feet and finally gets down.
Griffin doing a great job there, just making some guys miss.
Here's the snap that gives to Ballantyne. Ballantyne cuts it up. Ballantyne refusing to go down as he's inside the red zone now, and that's another first down for the Hounds. Quarterback sneak with Alcorn. Alcorn fights. Touchdown Greyhounds.
Big extra point right here, guys.
Absolutely.
Good snap. Hold. Kick is up, and it's good.
Big Jeremy Jarrett.
78-yard drive for the Hounds after the big punt when they turn the field over, and that's awesome. Well, the Hounds are going to stop them right here if they go for it. The Hounds are going to stop them.
We will stop. I agree.
Yeah, the Hounds are going to stop them here.
David Black calls it.
And if they do, we're going to win a football game.
I agree. I'm right there with you.
If they go for it, don't kick the field goal.
I don't see a T out there, David.
Quarterback is not out there. One going to do it himself. Not the guy who's been playing the quarterback position. Motion into the King Kong. One keeps it. No good.
He didn't make it.
He didn't get it, boys.
Huge stop. Huge stop for the Greyhound defense. Just once again, we say it week in and week out, to the fourth down and short, fourth down and long, whatever the case may be. The Hound defense is good for a few stops, turnovers on fourth down. 2:16 to play here in the fourth quarter. Hounds have it first down and 10 from the 45.
Snap, give it to Ballantyne. Ballantyne makes a few guys miss, gets up near midfield.
Give him 5 on the play, make it 2nd down and 5.
Snap. Alcorn throws it out wide to Crite. Crite's got a little room. Crite puts his head down and gets out of bounds and will have enough for a first down. Here's the snap. Alcorn rolling out to his left. Goes and finds Griffin around the 35-yard line and does give you now a 4th down and manageable.
That's 4th and manageable.
Out left.
58 seconds remaining here in the 4th quarter. Hounds trail 20-14.
Can the Hounds get another 4th down?
Offsides.
Count.
They don't call it. Eli calls his own number.
Eli's going to get outside. Touchdown.
Alcorn's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Greyhounds.
Miss it.
Biggest kick of Jeremy Jarrett's life right here.
Come on, big Jeremy. Put it through the uprights, bro.
Put her through. Put her through. Right here.
through.
Oh,
Here we
he's
go.
solid. He's
Ain't
solid
nothing
right
to
here.
it.
He's solid.
Good snap, hold, kick is up. It's good. It's good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And they're out of
Back looking
timeout.
to throw. Just going to air it up right here.
Husky.
Brendan
Brendan
picks it off.
Curry.
Hounds take a knee, and they're going to win this one.
What a game.
On the road at Melbourne. The Hounds never gave up. And never quit.
Look at these Greyhounds out here on the field.
And
Hayden
they're
Schultz.
fired up.
Look at these Hounds, brother.